Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Titanic Talks. It is Friday, April 15th, 2022. It is Good Friday, which is the day that Jesus was crucified.
I did not know that.
And that voice you're hearing right here is the one and only special guest, the lovely, the beautiful, the talented Chelsea.
What?
And
my name is Chelsea. I'll agree with that one.
You know her as Nobody's Dream Girl.
Oh, that's embarrassing. That's so embarrassing.
We can add like a little sound effect for that. You know her. Should we introduce you as a stripper, like a stripper?
Right. What would my name be as a stripper? It's like those things when they tell you to get like your street name and what else, like your favorite soda or something.
Come on, guys, let's give it up for the one and only Nobody's Dream Girl.
Ew. I hate it.
We have another special guest with us, actually. He is currently inside of your body right now.
That is amazing.
Our child.
Our child. Oh my gosh. He does have a name.
He does. Let's not share that here, though.
Okay.
Not yet, when the time is right.
I figured.
But he is a
person.
A person.
A thing.
And he's very active inside of your womb.
Body.
Surprisingly easy to make a human being.
Super easy.
Didn't realize how easy it would be. And
first try.
And apparently the stork does not, that's not true.
Does not exist. False.
35 years old. Well, I suppose I was 34 when he was conceived. Do we know what day he was conceived?
I think it was in August.
August 20.
We were at an Airbnb and we ate schnitzel.
We did have schnitzel. We were in Fredericksburg, Texas.
And I'm pretty sure that is the day when I went to the doctor and they ask you, when do you think you conceived? I had to go and look through my photos to find when we ate schnitzel to tell her I think it's this day. So
yes, that makes sense to me. I feel like this would be really funny to have documented for when he
would love to hear when you got conceived.
Yes, I'm sure it will be something that's probably touch the bottom of your microphone right there. There you go. Yeah. We have a short and a cable, and I don't have a soldering iron here, so I'm going to have to go ahead and fix that cable. So we're gonna work with those technical difficulties, but it adds to the experience, doesn't it?
It does.
But I think it'd be funny to have a documentation for him before he's even born, so when he becomes conscious and ultimately a man or a woman, if they decide to.
We should call him they as soon as he's born, right? We can't give him a gender.
Yeah, based off of the kicks and movements that they have been producing inside of your body that I've been feeling, I don't want to go ahead and misgender the unborn person.
Right.
We also have another guest here, the one and only Kiki.
She is 1 year old.
Yes, very recently.
Yes, she just turned 1, so they will be very close in age.
She's losing her mind currently. 1, because when we first rescued her from the gutter, she's a bit of a street cat.
We got her off Craigslist for $25.
She was a Craigslist cat, a COVID Craigslist cat.
She was a COVID Craigslist cat.
I mean, she might as well have cancer.
That's a lot to say, COVID Craigslist cat.
The 3 C's.
3 C's.
When we first purchased her.
It's very sketchy on Craigslist in a back alley.
During a pandemic, we were very fortunate to find her. She's a lovely, sweet little Kiki. But we gave her a bit of freedom after releasing her from her bell, which we received her in.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So her bell broke, I think. And so she's been very silent and enjoying her silence of being stealthy. Kiki.
This is true, but we have recently moved into the country in rural Texas. Yes, throw a dart at a map of Texas, and that's where we are. We have a lovely new house, and couldn't be happier about that. But when it comes to cats in a house, they tend to be very excited and activated by what's going on outside of the house.
I want to leave.
I've never had a yard before, and the fact that, nor has Kiki.
No, she has boyfriends now.
We do need to get her fixed.
Right.
And it's been kind of relatively difficult to do that while in the midst of a pandemic. And now that things are becoming more open, we're realizing that it may just be my own negligence, considering she's a year old. But she's definitely letting herself be known. Would you like to do your best impression of the calls that she does to her boyfriends outside?
It's a very deep wow.
That's good. Yeah, it's very guttural.
It's very like, I need this now.
Yeah, she doesn't want love, and she requires
it. Right.
Yeah.
She has a couple of contenders outside. We have an orange cat.
Yep, I've seen that one.
I think I named him Cheddar. And there is a gray one that came by as well.
I've seen him.
Don't know his name.
I believe Pepper was what.
Oh yeah, I called him Pepper.
You called him Pepper.
So we got Cheddar or Pepper. She has not chose her favorite yet.
We have a lovely assortment of hummingbirds as well.
We do. There's like 3 different ones.
So far, and we've only been here a couple of weeks, but the hummingbird feeder is about a week old, and they are loving it.
Every day just gets lower.
This is true. Yeah, they're really sucking down that nectar.
Ew. Oh my God. So they give a little hum when they do it.
This is true. 1 part sugar, 4 parts. I was gonna say something silly, but water.
Oh.
But when I lived up in the Hollywood Hills, that was when we first started talking. Actually, several years ago, that was kind of a thing that I did. Is I would let you know all the time, and I'd send you photos
of the hummingbirds,
of the hummingbird feeder, and I bought the exact same model from Walmart.
Right. Should we say, well, how we started talking for our future son? Oh
yes. So son, if you're listening, and also for everyone else, congratulations and buckle up, because here we go.
Oh, is it that exciting?
No, not really.
Not really.
We just had friends of friends. and the internet.
The internet. No, it started off with a comment, "Come to Brazil."
Well, you know how your boy does it. I mean, hey, look, sometimes, when you're looking for love, and you got to bust out the "Please come to Brazil."
Come to Brazil. And I thought it was very funny.
With the flag.
With the flag. Mm-hmm. It caught my attention out of all the, mini comments I get. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Sometimes if you really want to mix it up, this is for all you lovers listening. If you really want to mix it up, do "Please come to Brazil" and then put the wrong flag, but with similar colors.
Right.
A Mexican flag, maybe they've got the green and white, and that's very silly to me. Yeah, a Spanish flag would be really funny as well. But I believe, I'm sure it's somewhere. Well, it's on the internet. It's there
still
forever.
there.
So somewhere on the internet, yeah, there's me commenting, "Please come to Brazil," and little did we know that would result in a child.
Come to Brazil. Yeah.
Did I spell it? No, I had.
No, you did not.
Okay, I was gonna say that'd be inappropriate.
That would be very. I don't think I would have replied to that comment.
Contrary to popular belief, I try my best to be a gentleman.
He is very much a gentleman. He took me to Disney.
Yeah, that's true.
As my first date.
That was our first date. That's true. Yeah, it was. I think maybe on this program I've briefly glossed over, but that story about how we first met and flying you to Los Angeles, California, to go to Anaheim, California, which is where, of course,
I was flown out.
Disneyland.
First class.
It was, wasn't it?
It was.
You heard it here first, folks.
First class. I was like, okay, sure.
If you want a baby,
fly her out first class.
Fly that girl or boy first class.
Right. Automatic check mark.
That is where the initial that was the pre-insemination.
I knew what I was getting myself into at that point.
Well, no, it was I remember that day clearly because it was I went to Disneyland alone. For our listeners on the show, you may or may not remember that me telling that story, and I was there on homework based on my dear friend and therapist.
Oh yeah, your therapist sent you to Disney.
Yeah, she asked me, what is your hello Kiki? If you hear the bell, you know it's time for Kiki.
It's Kiki.
My therapist told me, what's your favorite thing to do with your friends? And I was like, man, we go to Disneyland. We have such a good time. She's like, go alone. And it blew my mind. And so the next thing I know, I'm I was at California Adventure just across the way.
I do remember you saying you were alone, I think.
I mean, it's not like I texted you, hey, I'm alone.
I'm alone. And I want to let you know I'm this type of person.
I think I was just having like an existential crisis because it was the first time in like years I had noticed children being happy.
Wow, it's pretty depressing.
Because I would always, well, that's especially as an adult, like you go.
Well, yeah, you see things from a different perspective for sure when you get out of your like little bubble that you're stuck in for so many years.
Your main man was in a bubble.
He was in a bubble.
And it blew my mind. And I wonder, I'll have to ask her if this was her intent, but it certainly activated conversation. And the cat is going through the blinds.
Through the blinds. Kiki, no.
Hey, please don't do that. And ruined the blinds. Okie dokie.
No, they're okay.
But I wonder if that was kind of her plan. If she kind of like, like moved the chess pieces around for me. Maybe not. Sometimes these things.
You to want to bring me to Disney? Just kidding.
Well, to eventually create a life.
She's like, you see these happy children? This is what you want.
Yes, you need to see this. Because I think a thing to do is to be very, and especially, you know me, I tend to be, I err on the side of, at least with my work, I err on the side of facetiousness and sarcasm and irony. And when you're alone, see, the thing about those three qualities is they tend to be things that you can project to other people, like, look how ironic I'm being, right?
Right.
Look how facetious I'm being. And sometimes it works in a comedic context. But in this case, I was alone. There was no one to share it with. And also, I was deep in the feels. Right.
He had a lot of feelings when I started talking to you.
That's true. And when I remember that conversation, I remember specifically where I was at. Anyone who's familiar with California Adventure, just across Paradise Pier, which I believe now is Pixar Pier. Oh. There's a little wine garden, which is one of the only places you can get draft Ballast Point grapefruit sculpin.
Can you get wasted?
Beer.
At Disney.
I wasn't sober, but I wasn't wasted. And I remember just looking across the sea of people going by and enjoying my beverage and thinking, I just want to talk to Chelsea right now. Oh. And that conversation brought us to meeting in real life because you said you had never been to Disney.
That is right.
Or Disney World.
You said you wanted to take me on the teacups, which could mean many things, but
oh, I don't know that kind of slang, but well, I certainly didn't imply it, but I'm glad you thought I did.
Oh, yeah, I want to spin you around on a teacup, okay?
Yeah. Gonna make Chelsea dizzy on the teacups for love.
Oh my gosh, Kiki is being very chaotic right now.
She knows that we're broadcasting here, and so
I'm trying to think how I could fix this situation.
We could let her run around outside.
No. There's an angry dog in our backyard. Well, not in our backyard, across the backyard, and she would be instant Kiki food.
Yeah, she definitely does not need to be outside, that's for sure. But we'll let her.
I will hold this for her.
We'll let her think about what she's done. So we did end up going on the teacups.
We did. So he also wanted, what was it? The Incredible ride, I think. And
The Incredicoaster, that's
yes,
right.
I was terrified, but I had to pretend like I wasn't. And luckily, they closed it right before we got on, and I was so relieved.
It broke down, didn't it?
Yes, I was so relieved because I did not want to get on it, but I couldn't show that I was scared to get on a Disney ride.
This is true. Well, that's a little bit more than a Disney ride. I wouldn't
Roller
consider
coaster.
that. Yeah, that's a straight up roller coaster. That's one of my favorite coasters of all time. For our listeners who are familiar with Disneyland in Anaheim, California, you may remember it as California Screamin'.
I did not know that.
Previously California Screamin'. It was better because it had a great soundtrack. And we're going to go ahead and encourage our listeners right now, for anyone who's interested, search on Google or YouTube, because I don't think it's on Spotify. Listen to the original soundtrack of the roller coaster California Screamin', and that's one of my happy songs.
And this is my happy song. When you're having an existential crisis, is that what you listen to?
That's what I used to listen to. Yeah.
He doesn't really get those anymore.
Yeah, part of living out in the country is I'm realizing I have like no anxiety ever anymore.
He's
That's
cured.
Kind of apparently, yeah. All it took was going into the middle of nowhere.
It's a little less stressful, less people on top of each other.
A lot less, yeah. That's kind of a crazy thing. You lived in LA, you know how that was.
I was in LA for almost a year, and I absolutely hated it, but loved it at the same time. It's a love-hate relationship when you go and live in LA.
It certainly is. There's and you were in Koreatown, which is wild.
Well, apparently I wasn't in Koreatown. You told me I was
that's
further
right.
out.
Only about a week ago. No, you were in, where did I shoot
You
the show?
said it was very, you're like, how are you living there?
MacArthur Park.
Okay, well, I thought, no, you know what? The landlord was like, this is Koreatown. And I was like, okay, cool. And apparently.
Yeah, this is the only people who call it Koreatown are landlords. You were in the hood.
I was in the hood and had no idea. But it felt like it, I guess.
Well, I'm glad that you weren't dismembered and involved in gang activity.
I could have been killed for sure. The amount of times I had to walk so many blocks to get to my apartment crying.
That's a dark part of town for sure. But I'm glad you survived. And I will say the time that you were there, that really was pre-gentrification.
Right. Well, we were looking at the maps, and they built this new apartment complex. It was all nice. It was right by my old place.
Oh, recently?
Yeah, on the Google Maps.
Oh, that's right. The Street View.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was trying to locate
I couldn't even remember, and then I found it.
Right. Yeah. I spent a lot of time on 6th Street in Koreatown because Dancing Sa, little inside scoop for anyone listening. If you're in LA, you know what it is. But if you visit LA, don't tell anyone, but go to Dancing Sa. It's amazing. That's actually where we went. After Disneyland.
That is right. I had this plum wine that I absolutely hated because I didn't know how sweet it was going to be.
Yeah, they definitely go sweet on the Korean spirits.
Seriously. Yeah, it was way too sweet.
I definitely knew that you were cool because, first date Disneyland, that's a deal breaker.
It's a huge deal.
Especially if you're like your main man here with the annual pass. I love trying to pretend sound cool about having
You did have an annual pass. It was very questionable. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's no big deal. We got 10% off all of our meals. It's no big deal.
That is correct. You did.
No, I knew you were cool because it was when I was like, oh, you're like, I'm hungry or something along those lines. You're like, I'm hungry.
Probably was hungry.
Yes. And I don't know, it's maybe 7:00 or something like that. And I'm just like, okay, cool. Yeah. Let's grab something to eat and we can maybe get a spot for the fireworks and the parade or whatever. And you're like, oh no, let's go. Let's get out of here.
That was right. I was like, we can watch the fireworks on our way to the car.
Yeah, which we did.
I've seen many fireworks in my life.
Yeah, I was like, damn, because I actually kind of don't want to stay around for the chaos anyway. Yeah. And so we beelined it right for Dancing Sa.
We did.
Which is in, of course, Koreatown, which is your old stomping grounds.
I was in that area, yeah. So I did live in Koreatown. And it was very difficult to live by myself. I didn't know that you're supposed to get a roommate when you move to LA because it's so expensive. Because in Texas, you don't need to.
Never lived in California without a roommate.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I don't need one because In Texas, you don't. You can afford it. Not in LA. No.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there. I don't think I know anyone who had. No, I do know one person.
Yeah, but usually they have a lot of money and they can afford it.
This guy didn't have a lot of. Well, he has a lot of money now.
No, he does.
I won't throw him out of the bus, but you know who you are, brother.
Oh my gosh. And my parents, they're like, what do you mean? I was like, I think I need to get a roommate. They're like, that's weird. Why? You're not going to get a roommate with someone you don't know, but everyone gets a roommate they don't know in LA.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah, it's definitely well, I guess I don't know. I guess growing up it was you just assumed when I moved out I was freshly 18 and got my first apartment. This is back home in Michigan, but I knew I had to have a roommate. I couldn't afford it.
Not Texas. Well, I don't know about now in Texas. You need a roommate for sure. But back in like 2015, you can get like a whole upper floor for like $650.
Yeah. I think pretty much anywhere now. I mean, oh my God.
Everything's like $1,000 at least.
Yeah, minimum. Yeah, it's really out of control. Shout out to all the people right now who are struggling with that because holy smokes. Yeah, it's got to be tough right now. Like imagine being like single right now.
Yeah, I know.
How could you like I guess maybe if you're young, I mean I'm an old man at this point.
You're seasoned.
You're
a seasoned man.
A seasoned veteran.
You're right. You fought in a lot of world wars, apparently.
We were texting each other New Balance shoes.
That's right.
Earlier today.
Yeah, but they're a little expensive. I was like, you should get these $50 ones. But they're like knockoffs of the New Balances by New Balances.
Which is hilarious because as you were texting me that, I was out back in the hammock.
Sounds so ridiculous. He has a hammock.
This is true. That's how I spend most of my time. That's my new office. People think I'm being silly when I, like my friends, when I tell them like, oh, I'm just out back in the office. And they're like, oh, like, what's the setup? I'm like, 2 trees.
No. You know, story about the hammock.
Oh,
so
yes.
Whenever we found the hammock, it was supposed to be 50% off, right?
This is true.
And I am not one to stand and wait for the cashier to go check up on it and agree that it should be 50% off. So I let Corey go to the car.
Yes.
And I knew you really wanted that hammock.
I really did. I found it
and
on the
I
World
knew
Wide
he
Web.
wouldn't get it unless it was 50% off. And it was not 50% off.
Oh,
I bought it for you. Yes.
Oh, did you really?
I did. And I didn't want you to not want to get it because I knew you really wanted it.
You heard it here, folks, everyone. See, that's how you know she's the one.
They were like, it's not 50% off. And I was like, okay, I'll just get it anyways.
Oh, that's very sweet of you. Thank you.
Because I knew you really wanted that hammock. That's the story.
Well, the main reason I wanted it is because I was like, that's a really good bargain. That's how you know I'm old.
I was like, just throw it in there. It's fine. I was like, I will pay the extra $20 for it.
Well, we'll go out and get tacos tomorrow on me.
Oh, thanks. That is my hammock story.
Oh, that's fantastic. Wow. They really didn't honor the online.
No,
it clearly was the
what?
same product.
It was an old man, and he came up and he was like, "No, look, it says in stores only." Or no, online only is what it said. But it didn't say anything about discount online only. It just said online only. Like,
keep in mind, by the way, for anyone listening, whoever this old man is told this to an extra pregnant young woman, like wearing like the most gorgeous, like beautiful sundress and like a little headband that matches and like literally looks like it's straight out of a goddamn movie.
oh my God. He told me no. And I was like, okay, well, I'm buying it anyways. And I think it was out of spite is why I bought it.
Oh my God, we should both, because we kind of have like a decent amount of followers. we should call him out.
I don't know what his name was. I'm sure his name was like.
We should do the thing where we go up
Cancel.
we go up with the cameras rolling,
right.
like both of us, and we no, that's
No.
I'm being silly. Well, I appreciate you buying me that hammock because
of course.
I tend to look at things. I don't know if you do this, but I'll find like with products, right? Maybe this is a getting old thing. Maybe this is like a not really having to like freak out about money thing. But as I get older and more secure in general with myself and finances and business and all of that, relationships, I find that the only thing I really care about, and certainly after realizing or coming to the realization that like we're bringing a beautiful life into this world, everything else just seems stupid.
Right.
And the only thing I care about is like having fun, laughing, eating food,
having a beer.
Love to have a delicious beverage, especially on a hot summer day or spring day. It's hot here right now. But all of the little things that I used to just get so worked up about.
Right. You've gotten better about it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I suppose the world shutting down for 2 years helped with that. But now when it comes to like items, right? And I guess for me, at least, I know it's kind of different with, guys and girls, but for me, like even in my studio here, like I've got vintage synthesizers and vintage guitars, and everything in here is for a purpose, and it's so I can create, so I can work. And anything outside of that, I really start to think like, do I need this? It's funny because you were talking about your dad and his toolbox, like the handle broke off. But I wonder if it's frugality, and I wonder if it is because I look at things now, like the hammock, for example. Like now, like in my kind of like OCD head, I'm like, okay, like I'm doing the math. It's like, okay, the $27 extra that you had to spend. So now I'm calculating, in the past 2 weeks that I've used it, I'm like, okay, so that equates to about, roughly like 25 cents for every 30 minutes.
How much do you pay to use the hammock a day?
This is what owning a business is like for me. I'm like always just like, structuring everything and breaking it down. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's definitely worth like the 20 cents.
I think you've used it enough. Yeah.
I guess what I'm getting at in a long-winded way is saying that I feel like we've gotten our money's worth.
I think you have. Yes.
Yes.
That is too funny.
I have. You need to hop on it.
I can't get in it right now. Too pregnant.
That's true. And I have been cognizant of that. And we're just, for our listeners who are concerned about Chelsea not being able to get into the hammock, it is a bit of a gravity issue.
I want to say that he put it too high to his height.
No. I followed the directions to a T.
Oh, there's directions for a hammock. No, he totally eyed it and was like, "This is perfect for me."
Okay, maybe I didn't follow directions, but I was out there with a drill holding the paper that I came with.
Did it come with directions?
It did, yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's how I knew earlier when you came out and we realized the taco truck was down today. How dare them.
Good Friday.
Good Friday, I understand. We are, I guess it would be, it's 2022. Jesus was 33 when he's crucified. 33, 2022. That'd be 1,989 years.
Sure.
To the day, sure. According to which account you subscribe to. But the taco truck was closed.
They wanted to enjoy their day with their family, and we can't be upset about that.
Yes, that's true, and God bless them. And if I did, as we all know, and for everyone listening, working on, not letting not sweating the small stuff. And my small stuff today, how awesome is this? The only small stuff I had to sweat today was that the taco truck
was closed.
Oh, that's so much better than
whatever.
Yeah, else. Like 50,000 people hating you for things they were lied to about. But it's kind of a cool situation, being out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
And even, first of all, having the option of, because I guess we're relatively close to the border of Mexico. So,
oh, wow.
That's actually how you pronounce it.
I didn't know that. Being Mexican, just no.
Really, your fluent Spanish-speaking parents didn't know how. Actually, I feel like I should culture you guys and let you know the X is actually silent.
Oh, wow. It's okay. I don't know any Spanish. I'm the most whitewashed Mexican out there right now.
That's not true. I've seen quite a few. I do appreciate. I think it sounds really cool when your mom speaks Spanish.
So strange. Well, no, the reason why they didn't teach me was, first off, it was the 90s. And in the 90s,
nobody spoke Spanish in the
no
entire
one
world.
spoke Spanish. No, in the 90s, it was looked down upon.
It was illegal even in Mexico and
speak
Spain.
Spanish. From what my mom has told me, it's just she didn't think it would be important enough, and which is complete opposite now.
Well, there's always time to, what do they say? The best time to plant a tree is 30 years ago, and the second best time is today.
Right. Yeah, I guess that should be the next. Oh, wait, not like I know another language, but it should be the language I learn because everyone knows Spanish for the most part.
Should we prank our son so we can just start doing like Duolingo or like
Rosetta Stone,
and we can just learn like the basics because to a newborn they're not going to know the difference,
right?
And so we can just kind of practice on him. How funny would it be? I wonder if someone's done that's psychological warfare. I was gonna say, how funny would it be? I bet there has to have been someone who was like, "Oh, we're gonna have a baby. Like, what if we like just invent a language?"
Oh no! I think that might like slow him down mentally.
or how about this? How about this? Maybe this might be fun. Maybe if there's just like one word or phrase, like something super abstract
that he's gonna think that it's a real word, but it's not.
Yeah, it can be something like banana peel. Like instead of calling it a banana peel, we can just call it like a.
No.
And then his whole life.
No, he's gonna go to like kindergarten and be like, so this kid needs some mentoring.
I'm gonna be like.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, like what? You've never heard this before?
Peel.
Yeah, this is.
That's so mean.
Well, those kind of things definitely have been going through my head. Like what? Well, we've been playing him music,
right?
And putting the headphones on the belly, the whole deal, seeing what he responds to tends to be Frank Sinatra.
When he's not listening to TikToks. Coming on my phone. Sorry.
You had a really interesting thing that you brought up to me is because. There's something I didn't really quite understand about pregnancy. Maybe someone listening, if you are someone who has bared a child.
Bared, yeah.
Or potentially is bearing. The belly becomes a bit of a table.
It is a table, yeah.
Talk about that a little bit.
I feel like a human table, but let me think. So like going on your laptop is like 10 times harder. Because you put the laptop on your belly, which is kind of great because it is a table, except for when your child decides that he does not want the laptop on top of him and starts kicking it off you.
Yeah, he knows.
Yeah, he's like, get this hot electronic radioactive thing off me.
Oh, I wonder if you can feel it like cooking him.
No.
Oh, no.
No, I have the MacBook Air. Those don't get hot anymore.
That's the commercial right there.
Right. Get a MacBook Air. You won't cook your child.
My PC won't.
Oh, gosh.
No, he'd be barbecued with that thing.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, back in the day when you couldn't even like put a laptop on your stomach.
Yeah, that's how PCs still are.
They are actually, they have not gotten better.
No, but it is like 50 times faster than my Mac.
I'm surprised.
But are there any other ways that you've utilized your newfound table?
It's just nice being able to rest my phone on it when I'm like scrolling.
A little more leverage.
Yeah,
maybe
you just, like,
a better.
Put your hand on the belly, and it just kind of is like a baby table.
Yeah, and imagine like if you put like two pillows on if you're like laying in bed right now, maybe you're listening to this right now laying in bed, and maybe you have maybe someone listening right now has their phone on their belly. Just maybe if you're in this thought experiment right now, but you're living it out physically, maybe just grab a pillow or two and raise it up and let us know in the comments if it feels better.
Oh my gosh, I'm trying to think. So pregnancy was great. Like I say was, like I already had my baby, but no, it's been
We're at
great.
The end.
I have had a really good pregnancy, and I think it's because it's a boy and they say you don't get nauseous as much and all of that. But now that we're towards the end of like 3 more weeks to go, maybe sooner, and it is hell. I absolutely hate it. I'm so swollen.
Yeah.
I wake up and I look like Madonna. Not good Madonna.
I love how like even 10 years ago, 20, 30 years ago, that's like, oh my God, you look like Madonna when
Now
you're
it's the
pregnant.
bad thing. No, I look like the bad Madonna. I look like someone gave me
like,
too many fillers.
Like today, Madonna.
Today, Madonna.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. R.I.P. previous Madonna. We still love you, Madonna.
Right. Yeah, it's a good or bad thing to look like Madonna or to say that nowadays.
Depends on when you.
Yeah, what era. So anyways, I wake up and I look like bad Madonna. I'm super swollen. All of my knees and joints hurt, but they say that's normal. It's because your body's getting ready to be like Jello and push out a baby. Super weird.
Oh, so that's just like prefacing your entire system for.
Yeah. And what else?
It's a really fascinating thing to watch, especially as someone who's, hyper analytical of everything. I'm just like, oh my God, this is futuristic.
Gaining weight sucks.
Yeah, but that's part of it.
Yeah,
it's good for the baby.
It's definitely has made my relationship with food better because I'm like, you know what, this is for the baby. You get caught up as a woman in food and stuff.
Well, I think maybe a lot of people don't know because I didn't know this. What did the doctor say? How many calories did they say the intake?
So apparently, which I read online, is that once you get to your third trimester, you're supposed to eat like 2,400 calories.
That is unreal.
That's a lot to me, but yeah, that's a lot to keep the baby going, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I remember you telling me that. I was like, oh my God. And obviously, it's
so
like
hard.
Everyone's bodies are different and this and that. I'm 6'1" and
Corey eats like a bird.
Yeah, but I always have. I've just been on a system for so long. And
right.
I was like, oh my God, I don't think I've like ever eaten that much, but I've never eaten for two.
Right. That's what I have to keep in mind. It's like
regardless of how tall you are, and everyone obviously has different like bodies and metabolisms and who knows how much the baby's gonna eat. And so once we found that out, it's just like I almost feel guilty because I'm just like, obviously as the dude in the relationship, it's like you never really want to like comment left or right about like food, but at this point I'm just kind of like, well, the doctor said you should probably eat more.
Which I've been trying. I eat my little smoothie and then I make a little egg sandwich and then I eat dinner, and I'm totally not used to three meals and a bunch of snacks a day, but it's supposed to help him grow. So
he's got to be strong
little man.
Yeah. He's gonna be a tall drink of water, just like his old man.
String bean.
Mm-hmm. You better believe it. He's gonna be a silly little dude. I wonder what he'll end up like being involved in, because I don't want to push him in any direction.
I think it'll be funny if he comes out the complete opposite of you and he wants to be like a football player.
Oh, I'd love it.
He wants to be a football player and he's like a super jock and all he cares about is like going to college. And
that'd be so awesome. Oh my God.
I feel like that might happen. Or
I hope he gets into like fights.
No. He like beats up kids. You're like, yeah, you're a bully. It's great.
Because I'll just like show up to like the high school. I'm imagining just like Friday Night Lights. You know what I mean?
He's like the worst. Like
we're in rural Texas, like
frat boy.
Oh, that'd be so. I mean, not with you as a mother for sure, but and I mean, I'm not even gonna speak up.
I'm like, I don't know. He might come out. The thing is, I think, well, it depends on where you grow up. That definitely shapes you as a person. But also, I grew up in rural Texas and I didn't come out country, so that might be a bad example.
That's very interesting to me, and also the role reversal. A very fascinating thing happened. I was talking to a friend a couple days ago, and we're talking about actually living in the country. Growing up in Michigan, I was right on the edge of the country and the city, and anyone who's in Michigan, I think, knows, especially like on the lower east side of the state, where Detroit and most of the metropolitan, or at least major metropolitan areas of the state are University of Michigan and Ann Arbor and all that. You don't have to drive more than 10 minutes outside of the city, and you are in country. Mm-hmm. Mostly cornfields and things like that. We don't have the cattle up there like you do down here, mm-hmm. or we do down here. I suppose I'm a Texan now.
Now he has the official driver's license as well.
This is true, and It's always fascinating talking to someone who grew up here about like you had to do like agricultural classes in high school.
True. So in Texas, you have to take at least 2 years of ag classes, which you learn about different cows and how to castrate pigs and all this crazy stuff that they do not teach in regular school.
When you first told me that, it reminded me of like, you know, we had like wood shop class in high school.
Yeah, it's
and
kind of
things
like that.
But everything was all leading mostly towards like auto manufacturing.
Right.
You know, because General Motors and all that before they all, you know, left. But the, you know, it was kind of catered a little bit towards, you know, the trades in that way. And that kind of gets me excited, you know, looking forward into the future now, where it's just like, who knows what the robots are already taking over McDonald's and, you know, all the fast food restaurants. And what do we just see? Denny's has the robot.
Yeah, Denny's has a robot
that delivers food to the table. If you haven't seen that, check that out. It's all over the World Wide Web. But it kind of, it gives me hope a little bit in, you know, at least having a son down here and raising him down in Texas. I like that the state itself kind of at least embeds that kind of like, hey, by the way, people are always going to have to eat, and agricultural is
huge.
Oh yeah. I mean, look at, we won't get political or anything, but you know, things that are going on with, you know, world conflicts right now and the shortages that are resulting from that. I think in the future, we're probably going to definitely need to become a little bit more self-sustainable as a country, or at least as a state. And God bless Texas. Holy smokes. But we at least have an infrastructure that's built for that, and bringing a now that we know it's a boy, right? You know, just like, hey, buddy, you're gonna have to work.
Oh my gosh! And when he's not being spoiled by grandma and grandpa.
That's true. He's gonna be
super spoiled.
I just imagine him being like looking through, because he's ultimately definitely gonna find our Instagram feeds or whatever at some point.
Block.
Yeah, Dad, why are you wearing makeup and fingernail polish and latex?
Like old photos. That's why we need to print out photos. There's no photo albums anymore.
Yeah, that's why I feel like I need to kind of get more into
dad mode.
Dad mode, yeah.
Like, I don't wear makeup.
Right.
I'm a man.
I want to be the dad who's like, well, I've worn makeup. Because you don't want to be the dad, don't wear makeup, because then you're just a tool. But, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, hey, I enjoyed myself by all means, and who knows, maybe someday in the future. But, you know, I want to just raise a well-rounded child and just let him know, like, hey.
Enjoy life.
Oh, move your thing again. Go ahead.
Hello? Can you hear me? Okay. I want him to, like, enjoy life and be able to just be a regular person, which is really hard to do because the internet is just so insane that it's so normal. Imagine you're communicating almost like message in a bottle. Like you're communicating a message to him. Let's do one in 3 increments, because this is going to be on the internet. It's going to last forever. So let's give one for 10 years, 20 years, and 30 years. Oh, gosh.
So 10 years old, message, little man. We're not saying your name here right now because, well, you're not born. So there's that. But we do have a pretty good idea.
We do have a name.
10-year-old son, this is a message from your beautiful mother, Chelsea.
Ooh, let's see. I hope you're not too much into Roblox, because apparently that's a thing.
He's gonna have no idea what that is.
He's not gonna know what the internet is.
10 years away.
So you're 10 years old and you won't know what the internet is, because we will block that out. We'll lock the doors whenever we go on our laptops.
No, he's gonna have a laugh at that.
We have to lock him, or no, we let him take a nap and then we go on our laptops and surf the internet.
How do you hope he feels about love at 10 years old?
Well, I hope he has a love for us and my grandparents, his grandparents, and Kiki and every animal. I hope he's like a loving person. Mm-hmm.
How about career at 10 years old? What do you want to be, buddy?
He probably will want to be a firefighter.
You
like
think he'll
every
be a
other
fighter?
10-year-old.
Yeah, he's probably going to be somewhere in that realm.
Or maybe he wants to like fly a spaceship.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Maybe
who knows?
He wants to be Elon Musk.
Maybe. I know him. I can put in a good word.
No. Yeah, that's weird. 10 years old is like a weird age because...
Well, it's 2032.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we joke about spaceships and, space right now, but who knows? There's probably, in 10 years, there's probably going to be a mission to Mars at least.
I would think so.
Yeah, I don't think they'll have...
10 years old, I'm like, he's still a baby.
Yeah, so how about 20? 20 years old, he's probably had his first love.
Definitely. It's either he hates life or he loves life.
So now instead of what do you think about that, what advice do you have to a 20-year-old son about
I would say
love?
To date around and to not take anything too seriously at 20 years old when it comes to love. Kind of feel around, not like that. Just enjoy life and don't get too caught up, because eventually I think you will meet someone that you really like and you'll be like, oh, okay. And then everything's fine.
Yeah, that's good advice. How about career-wise?
Career-wise, ooh, that's a hard one.
20 years old, you're just getting into...
I mean, it depends what he wants to do. I definitely wouldn't be the type of person to be like, no, you can't do that, because that's just going to make him want to do it more. Mm-hmm. I think he would have to try and fail, for sure. Mm-hmm. Try and fail over and over again. Like, there's no... You can definitely give him, like, good direction.
Yeah.
But, whatever he wants to do, he can do. But I'm not paying for it.
The Apple... I will. I'll be... Yeah. The apple certainly doesn't seem to fall far from the tree. That's something that kind of concerns me. 20-year-old son.
Right.
Like what happens when he says, "Hey, I want to be a rock star,
and I want to live in LA.
I want to live in LA." I'll just
you
say,
can't stop me.
I'll say, well, I'll just say, "Hey, Uncle Johnny and Uncle Chris and Uncle Ennio and all my friends who are there who you visited before and you know well, and hopefully." Guys, if you're listening, please help me out on this one. Have not discouraged, but certainly have not encouraged that as a career field. That goes for everyone listening as well. If I think to want to be in entertainment in any capacity, or certainly music, which, oh boy.
That's a hard one.
Yep, you got to be a little bit of a broken soldier and
talented.
If you try hard enough. I was gonna say if you're lucky, but if you try hard enough, because I didn't get lucky. But you at a certain point you run out of mistakes to make, I think.
Right.
And that's if I had, ultimately, God willing, we'll have a fruitful young man at 20 years old. And able to have this conversation in real life and sit down that'll be 2042.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be a really fun thing to do, is to laugh about this together. And he'll be months away from being able to have his first beverage. Maybe mom and dad will be a little okay with him cracking open a cold one.
You can have one cold one at home.
Yeah, maybe this will be the conversation for his first brewski with his old man. But knowing his uncles that he's going to have, they're probably going to beat me to the punch. And so last one, 30 years old, love.
Ooh, 30 years old on love. I mean, I would think by that point he would have gone through the harshness of reality of life, and hopefully it didn't break him too much.
Yes.
And he's just hopefully wanting to find someone to be with and have a kid and chill out, I would think.
And the cycle continues.
And the cycle continues. I mean, I would think that's what you want at 30, but everyone wants something different.
That's where the switch was flipped for me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Something changed. I'll never be able to explain it, and the only people I've been able to really talk to about it are people who felt that switch.
Yeah.
That's something we clicked on very early.
Definitely. Well, like, I think back of being in my early 20s and how miserable I was.
Oh man.
Everyone's miserable in their early 20s, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Super miserable because you're chasing after things that aren't real.
Yeah, you haven't quite realized that it's all an illusion.
Yeah, you have this fantasy life sketched out in your head, which isn't not unrealistic or whatever. It's just probably not. You won't be happy when you are there.
Well, the feeling of happiness, I think, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. I'm just continuing on with that thought. The idea of happiness that you think that's going to bring you is probably far off from what it actually feels like.
Right.
It's the grass is always greener on the other side.
100%. And also, sometimes things are better as a dream than the reality.
Yeah.
Because you get there and you're like, okay, but then what?
Yeah, that's something, not to get into therapy mode, but that's something with my own dad that, for years we butted heads about. We were at an emotional conflict together as adults. Let's say it that way. About where I was going with my work. I hadn't had any success or anything like that. And then when I found success, the conversation certainly changed, and suddenly it was like I felt like I was at least able to sit at the table with my dad. Mm-hmm. And then, just like anything in life, the roller coaster keeps shifting up and down and up and down and all around. And then for the first time in my life, I realized like, oh my God, my dad's been aware of this the entire time.
Oh, your dad has been right.
He was right the entire time.
Same with my dad, yeah.
Yeah, and that's...
You always think they're trying to pop your bubble.
Yeah, and so for us talking about, hypothetically, future conversation with our 30-year-old son, basically what we're saying, son, is we were right the whole time.
Right. We knew exactly what we were saying.
And you can ask grandma and grandpa about that.
Yeah, that is weird. It's like growing up, you always like butt heads with your parents because you feel like they don't know anything. Or they don't understand because they don't have the same dreams that you have. And so why would they understand? But they actually know way more than you do.
It was a phase, Dad.
It was a phase. The black nail polish was a phase.
That's got to be a meme, right? It was a phase, Dad.
Maybe. Maybe
Oh,
not.
your mic went out again.
Nope. Can you hear me?
There you go. Yeah, that's good. I like having the headphones on so I can be like, oh, it's only happened
well,
like
if not, we
times.
would not know.
Yeah, I'd have to be looking at the waveforms here, but we've got some really, really healthy looking waveforms going.
Very healthy.
Is there
Good swimmers?
Is there anything? Oh, I got some healthy swimmers.
He's like, first try.
Everyone listening, it's easier than you think.
I thought it was going to take a couple months. Did not.
I definitely thought it would take more than 1 day.
1 day, yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's pretty fun, It's a weird time, right?
Yeah, it's super weird. I'm just like, I don't think it's gonna hit me until I give birth. I'm like, oh my gosh, I grew this human inside me.
Yeah.
And now he's here. Now he has to be kept alive like a Tamagotchi, but like 10 times harder.
Yeah, a little bit like a Tamagotchi.
A little bit. I'm like, it's like a Tamagotchi, you just kind of like give some
let's
pixels.
be real, he's a little more like a Pokemon. But.
It's a Pokemon. Digimon. It's so ugly.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting, it's any day now.
Yeah, maybe sooner.
Any day now.
Depends on what life wants to throw at me.
Yeah, lots of doctor's appointments and
what's
conversations.
Best for baby?
Yeah, but I would highly recommend it for anyone who's at that point in their life who's looking to have their mind blown more than any mushroom trip. That's for sure.
Super weird.
Yeah, the probably the weirdest thing for me is because I feel old. I'm 35.
Oh my God.
I feel.
Well, you're almost a 40.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you for the reminder.
You're welcome. I reminded him about his 35th birthday with giant 3.5 balloons.
That's true, and you're still in your 20s, so
I'm almost there.
But the a lot of my friends are in New York City, Los Angeles, London, Tokyo. They're doing that big city life.
Yeah.
Still somehow, what are y'all doing post 2020? Hey, love you, and I get it. Some of them are still like in that system.
Right.
And I'm glad they are, because when I have to be there for work, I at least have people to be, be around, and I get to see my friends. It's
not for everyone.
The only reason I even go into the city anymore is to see my friends, who I love very much. But there's a thing that everybody has in common that I don't really get to talk about outside of my 2 friends who are about my age who have children.
That is crazy. You only have 2 friends who have children.
Yeah, and I think, that's something, because you're you're in your 20s, and a lot of people who are in your realm, I think mainly because of where in the world you were born. People, it was very it was a normal thing, if you will, to have children. Even starting early 20s.
Early 20s was normal. Yeah, definitely. Now it's it gets pushed further and further and further.
And it was certainly that way, I think, for me, my whole thing was I got to get out, and I pretended my entire home, I guess even Michigan, although I've always loved it, but I just, for some reason, when you're trying to shed your previous self to create,
to get out of where you're from.
But for me, that was a very, it seems as if something I really admire about you, and something that I respect tremendously, is that you saw the other side and you were like, oh yeah, this sucks. And you were able to recalibrate and reposition and focus in on what you want, and you have a great support structure and a very great, focus on the life that you wanted, and you were able in a very cool way and an admirable way to realize this is my trip around the sun, maybe 80 times. And yeah, I guess no, I'm just waxing poetic about how I admire that about you, because it took me 10 fucking years.
Yeah, but I think if my if I was in LA like I was at the time, and my career in photography or whatever I was doing at the time took off, I would have gotten stuck there for sure. I think I would have been oh, this is a sign, so I should stay.
Yeah.
But
the candle burning at both ends.
Right. I would have been oh, see, this is why I should be here. But, that didn't happen within the year, and I was over it. And I just wanted to be able to come home and be able to go to Walmart without it being stressed out.
I love that's so Texas of you.
I just wanted to be able to go to Walmart or Target or Walgreens, and it not to be the hardest thing ever.
What's that movie where she
Where the Heart Is.
Where the Heart Is. For our
Natalie Portman.
Yes, thank you. For our OG listeners, and I know that you're out there and I love you, I did a whole episode about this movie.
Did you?
And, oh yeah, maybe a year ago, and
it was probably after we watched it.
Yeah, and this is actually maybe about the time that our boy was conceived.
I think so.
It was probably 9 or 10 months ago, so around the time we started. But I'm happy to report that you have kind of become Natalie Portman from Where the Heart Is.
Oh, I feel it every time I go to Walmart. I'm why am I matching headbands to dresses? What's wrong with me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Something I realized out here is obviously, and I'm not blowing smoke up your bum, but obviously you're going to get the compliments, and you're always dressed real well, and you're looking like $1 million every day. And I can't remember which one of my friends, well, most of my friends, but so many of my close friends, particularly women, have been commenting on how you're slaying pregnancy and owning pregnancy,
which is really funny because I feel the complete opposite. But
I'm sure everyone,
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Everyone who's gone through that kind of physical turmoil, I can understand.
Yes.
But that's not people. And by the way, this is good friends and people who are not just going to say that to say that. So, but it's true. You really have. And I've noticed that being out here, especially, which I would constitute this certainly as rural.
Rural, yeah.
It's a hard word to say, isn't it?
Rural.
Yeah. For all my Japanese friends.
Oh, they probably can't.
Good luck with that
one. Rural Texas.
Yeah, it's. I mean, what I found, and this is just as a dude, even if you consciously decide what you're wearing for the day, you have fashion sense out here.
100%. As long as you're not wearing just a t-shirt and jeans, you are a fashion icon. I got stopped by a grandpa the other day at Walmart because I live there now.
Yep.
And he came up to me.
It's convenient.
He stopped me and was like, I just want to let you know that I think, what did he say? I think he said how astonishing it is to see a young woman in a dress.
A young woman in a dress.
And I was like, I mean, this dress is long. This dress is covering everything because, you know, when you're pregnant, you want to be comfortable and cute.
Of course.
And I thought it was really funny because I appreciate it. He thinks I look super classy in my long dress.
God bless
at Walmart.
him. Well, yeah, that's something, you know, being out here, there's certainly there are many times that I've wondered if people have used the internet.
Well, we had such a hard time getting internet.
That was a whole Getting internet in the middle of nowhere is difficult.
You definitely have to call around.
Yeah, and also we were situated with a wonderful provider, and we're happy with them. But also, if anyone has the hookup at Starlink, if anyone out there has the hookup at Starlink,
not waitlisted, please.
Yes, I am all ears, and I am happy to promote and anything that we can do to get Titanic, Sinclair, Starlink, or any sort of gigabit internet. Maybe Google. I'll send a note to my cronies over at the capital G and see if they have any fiber.
Capital G. Wow.
So I think that's pretty good. I don't even know how long we've been going.
I have no idea.
I didn't set it up for time.
This was supposed to be a 10-minute talk, and then I was going to go lay down, but here I am.
Yeah. Well, I think we did a pretty healthy amount. I think our listeners are absolutely going to enjoy this, and I know for sure that they're rooting for you, and everyone's really excited about the boy. I've received so many messages. Thank you, everyone. Nice. It's really, really nice for those of you who are the real ones and can see through all the silliness of the internet and make believe in Hollywood and blah blah blah. And I think it's so cool that y'all have stuck around and and you made it this far into this show here. I think it's really, really awesome, and I can't wait to do. Would you like to do more of these? I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, I could do a couple more.
It's pretty silly. Yeah. Dustin and I, Dustin Martian, one of my best friends of all time, we just did a great 3-hour podcast over on his new network down in Smiley, which is fantastic. I'll put links in the description for that. But talking to him is really reinvigorated. Is that a word? Reinvigorated?
Yeah, I think so.
Or if anything, re-inspired me to get back on the mic, and I like doing it audio only. There's something kind of cool because I really... Well,
you don't want to stress about what you look like on the video.
Exactly. It changes it, and what I found in doing this for, at least public episodes, I was just telling you yesterday about putting them on Spotify, 26 hours.
That's insane.
Just in one year. And those are just the public ones. It's kind of a crazy thing, but I really do feel that doing them audio only, it's more immersive for the listener.
Right.
And
you have to pay attention more.
I think so. And it's nice because not everyone has YouTube Premium, but everyone's got Spotify, so you can do other stuff in the background
and listen and not worry about watching a video.
Yeah. So let's close on this. What do you think?
Oh gosh.
people who listen to this whole thing, what do you think they were doing while they were listening?
Oh, skipping every time that they heard me talk. I'm just kidding.
No, that is absolutely not
I'm
true.
just kidding. I think they were either looking at Instagram.
Oh.
Because that's something I would do. Maybe cleaning.
Oh, that's good.
Maybe they were taking a bath, a bubble bath.
Ooh, bubble bath.
A bubble bath.
If you were listening to a bubble bath during this, please let us know.
Bubble bath.
Oh, I like that.
I don't know. That's it.
My first thought was I thought of someone mowing the lawn.
That's a lot of hard work.
Well, if you're on like one of those, I always like those mowing lawnmowers that had the little handles that were horizontal.
Yes.
I've never done it before.
Oh, wait, are you talking about the riding ones or just
Yeah.
regular ones? My dad has one. That'd be fun.
I used to have to push the lawnmower, and then when we moved in, we had a couple of acres, and then I had a riding lawnmower.
No, that's
and
so
I had a
fun.
see-through green, I think it was Motorola CD player.
They had that?
I'm old, but I'm not that old.
Well, I didn't even know that they had like radio situations.
See-through green compact disc, and then
Wow.
I got the Sony one, which had skip protection.
While
So,
you mow the lawn and make your money?
While I mowed the lawn, so I could get a bicycle. Yes. My oh my, have things changed.
Bicycle.
And now I just put audio on the internet, and
You can listen to it anywhere on your phone as long as you have service.
yes, this is true. So, hey, if you enjoyed this, please, more than anything, share it with a friend. What would you say to someone? You've never really done a plug before. How would you
It's called a plug.
Yeah. Or do you have anything you'd like to plug? Do you have any
No.
stores on the internet where you're selling things
No.
things you want people to subscribe to?
Oh gosh, not right now. No.
This is your first plug.
I'm just chilling.
I'm just chilling.
I'm just chilling and enjoying life. Maybe next time I'll have something to share.
I feel like that's so cool. You're like the only. This is probably the only podcast out of like the billion that exists now. You're probably the only one who has nothing to plug right now.
Nothing to share.
See, guys, I told you she was cool.
Wow. No.
Well, I appreciate that. On that note.
Sorry, my music career did not take off.
Oh no, no.
I never had a music career.
Well, everyone, thank you for listening. And I will plug something, and that's going to be this podcast. You can share this on your Facebook feed if you use Facebook. I know I've told you to delete it a million times, but hey, it really does help. And maybe share it on an Instagram story, or perhaps maybe if you want to make a comment about it on your TikTok. I'm being silly, obviously, but any way that you share this, it really does help us, and maybe we'll start a little diaper fund.
Diaper fund.
I did actually add. They can allow you on Spotify. They don't take a cut of anything, and you can just donate right to an artist now, which is really
Weird.
cool. It's almost kind of like a Bandcamp thing. So it was surprising to see that Spotify does that.
So directly. Interesting.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this on Spotify, there's a little PayPal thing straight up that's going to diapers and coffee.
Formula.
Formula. So this can keep going. So thank y'all for listening so much. We love you very much. God bless. Happy Good Friday. I hope you have an awesome, awesome Easter. And how would you like to end it, Chelsea, darling?
I hope everyone has a great night and cuddles. Bye.
Cuddles. Bye-bye. All right. I love you. Bye.